So I applied for unemployment, and a message came up saying it was pending. It was pending. It was pending. So it pended from September, October, November of last year, 2024. It kept pending, but you still have to report in that you're looking for work or whatever. So from November, or when I applied, I should say October through December, it was on pending. It was on hold with the company that let me go. And I explained all this to them because it was a question that came up. So I had to explain this all to them, and it was put on hold. I couldn't speak to a representative to find out what was going on. So now I've exhausted all my weeks of applying for wages, because you still have to apply while you wait a decision. And even though I was on the phone for almost two hours a week trying to get a live person at Florida unemployment, when I did speak to someone, it was, oh, we can't see anything, you just have to wait. By that time, we're now in 2025. And in February, the end of January, I was offered an assignment that would start in February. And I went back to working. And I just left the unemployment alone, right? So now we're in 2025, working with my go-to employment agency. And from February through the end of, the end of June was the assignment. So from February to end of June, I was working with my employment agency, which I've been working with off and on for 4 years. They're really good. They pay me well. And so I've never had a problem. So when that assignment ended, now that I know about unemployment, I was like, oh, this is a new year. I can apply for unemployment again while I was looking for work, right? And so, because now I'm like, okay, let's see, because it went through quick the first time again, right? That $275, which came out to what, 5 something a week before taxes, that money did help with the little bills that I did have, right? It wasn't a lot, but I ain't gonna even lie, that money did come in handy to take care of the little things I need to take care of, right? And so when I applied back in, was it July? Because I did wait until I got my last check, and then I applied. I want to say it was August, right? July or August. Blame it on it. Blame it on the memory. Anywho, I was ineligible. So it said I was ineligible, and then it said it said I was ineligible. So now I had to figure out why I was ineligible, because I made enough money, right? So I finally spoke to someone, and then they told me that I had this letter where I was denied with the company that I'm telling you about, right? And I was like, so what do I do? Why was I denied? And the reason they gave me was I was fired had to do with my work, right? So now I'm like, that's a lie, right? And I was like, so what do I do in this case? Because I made most of my money during this little period with the contracting company. Why couldn't they use that? Because that's who I was working with. I didn't expect them to pick up from the old people, because I felt like that time had surpassed, but it didn't, because there was a letter that was sent to me in January that I didn't, well, they said in November or December, that I never got, right? But the letter that I did receive showed that I was eligible for applying, which was confusing because it was conflicting. So because of all this conflict, the representative reviewed it and was like, oh, you're right. This one shows that you were eligible, and the other one shows that you're ineligible. There's a conflict. Then when I looked at it further, the company that let me go, that's the one I was approved for, but there was another name. Follow me? There was another name, and I was like, I never worked for this company. And that's what opened my eyes. And it was like, oh, we need to remove this ineligible state, because it said, there's another word that was in it that's basically was saying that I wasn't just ineligible for that period. I was ineligible indefinite for collecting because I was fired for that reason. And that is when I was like, that's not correct. I said, number one. I said, number two, I don't know who this company is. And that's what opened up me doing an appeal. Never did an appeal for unemployment ever, but the appeal was more so to rectify the issue. So if I have to collect unemployment in the future, it's not affected by this company I never worked for. Okay. I hope you guys are following me. So the name of the company that they said I was eligible for, I didn't know the name of that company, nor did I know the name of the person who was reporting this information. Okay. This is when I did the appeal. I said, because I never worked for them. So that's why I opened up an appeal, not to collect from the past, but simply I never worked for this company. And so why is this on my report as being ineligible? Because it's hurting me now. Okay. So now we fast forward to the appeal, right? I received my date for my appeal, and it was a phone interview. And so I was like, wow, because once I applied for the appeal, within 10 days, or less, I received a appointment date. And that appointment date was this month. Stay tuned.